What is happening, everybody?
Yo, yo, yo.
What is up?
Happy Pulse Day number, what are we, 4, 5,
6, 7?
6?
Does it matter?
Does it
Yeah.
matter?
I don't think
Happy
it does.
Clogged Bridge Day.
I think it's the that we know how many days it's been. People have been blocked for over now 30 hours, I think, in the bridge. So enjoy that.
They're having a bunch of trouble. It's like sitting in traffic going over to Tijuana. It's like you just sit there all night long waiting to get in.
It's okay. There are some solutions. We might have theories on what we could do to have better stuff.
Yep.
You know, there's people saying to stop, but it's not going to stop. I don't think. You know, poor Richard wants us to stop, but I don't think it's going to stop. I think he did. I think it was the best reverse psychology ever used. But that's
Don't come over here. Don't come across this bridge.
That's my opinion.
Freaking like zombies coming across the bridge right now.
I'm on my high horse. I just want to first off say shouts out to everybody. Thank you for everyone holding it down on Twitter. If everyone needs help, if anyone needs Pulse, we are gladly helping people out in the Twitter spaces. We're taking the same motto as that Telegram group that was doing give and receive. So you know we give out. Some people are giving it out. Sometimes you might catch them. If not, we're giving and receiving. So if you need Pulse, come see us. You know, if you could replace it so to give back to someone else, that'd be awesome. What else, man? We got a lot of updates for myself, and I'm talking now because I'm really excited to show you guys the updates, which you could do with my website, hexdirect.com.
Right. By the way, that thing's dynamite, man. That site is dynamite. You've done a really good job of putting everything together. Really nice.
Hey, it's creativity, man. It's creativity because anyone who builds a website could go look at what I did, and it's so easy. It's just creativity, in my opinion. Yeah, so thanks, Bullish. Check it out. So, guys, hexdirect.com. Get the direct info. So I basically embedded every single fucking website we ever use. So you can use it like this, right? You got the PLS burn in the front page. So when you scroll down, you could scroll in that embedded website. So it's embedded PLS. Shouts out to plsburn.com. Embedded the whole website so you can check out all the stats. You can see all the info of the bridge. You have the links at the bottom. Now, if you scroll down again, we embedded the PulseX DApp. So if you can, this is all, everyone can check this out. This is full, you know, go ahead and test it out. Iframes of the source of the web page. So it's pure PulseX. You're able to sign in on it. Then if you scroll down, you get the other links. But the real beauty, guys, if anyone wants, because it's really, really important at the top, Bullish, if you go to the top, we got three main things. Let's start with the faucet because that's probably, I think, the most important.
Before you start that, let me address somebody in the chat room real quick because I can see the anxiety already. Well, first of all, what's up, Dave 43? Good having you here, brother. Crypto Elite. Don't sweat. Just chill, bro. Go freaking light one up. Relax. Take a break. It's just going to take some time for it to go through. Your funds are safe. Ain't going nowhere. They're just stuck on the bridge. That's it. Everything's good. It's on the up and up. You'll be all right. So just chill.
There was something that came up in the chats, guys, for the Twitter, for anyone who's looking at the bridge. If you take your transaction, you know, just take the transaction, put it in the claim button, verify that constantly. I know you definitely with 103 ETH, you're definitely monitoring that. So what you could do extra to monitor that is actually go and take the transaction hash and go verify and see what's happening on the block and see how it's processing. And that could maybe help see a bit more information. But it is normal, man. We've had people with 26 hours, 28 hours now, 30 hours now that are getting them, and they come in and say, hey, guys, it's been 30 hours, so don't sweat it. It's coming. It is very congested. You could go ahead yourself. If you go on the beacon.validators and you plug in, I don't know, Bullish, if you could pull up the tweet by Richard, if you could post it in the chat, that he posts all the validator nodes addresses. So you can maybe go and verify those with that. But yeah, Crypto Elite, I would say, wait, I'm saying it's really congested and it doubled since a day and a half ago. So you might have to wait. It depends what RPC you're using, how much gas you paid, if you did it offline or online. I don't want to go too much details because I'm not really the guy to use the verbiage for that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there are means of verifying that. I would maybe go in the chats and maybe discussing it because we have been discussing it all day. So yeah, you can go on the chats on Twitter. You could follow. I think right now there's Buck Fiat.io that has a space that he has people up, and then there's I can't remember Adrian's handle, but there's definitely people in the chats. There's about over 800 people, 800 hexagons in chats right now. So go ahead there, and it's I know 32 hours, man. It's sorry about that. It's I called it. I'm sorry. I called it. It's there's so much fucking demand, man. So much demand, guys. You can see it from the beginning. But dude, just patience is a virtue, man. Patience is key. A lot of people are waiting also, man.
At least we're not waiting for Pulse to launch anymore.
Another thing too is that if you do crypto elite, do you have the transaction hash? Because that's probably like 80% of the best way of viewing it. It's like 80% is already done if you have the transaction hash. If you have the transaction hash, you can go on the Pulse ramp and just plug it in, or use that transaction hash. You can go on hexdirect.com on the Pulse scan button. That actually brings you to the new I don't know how to say this, but the outer dot scan or whatever. I don't know how to call it, but the outer. Yeah, it's funny. Anyways, you can check out the new block scan and check it out.
It's otter.
Otter, yeah.
Like
otter.
the animal.
Yeah. Or castor. Yeah. But yeah, guys, you could also go and verify. I forget who.
So real quick, I pulled up Beacon just to give you an update for what you requested. I'm checking the addresses and they're being processed. So just be patient. They're pushing them out on average right now. There's like one being pushed out every like 4 minutes.
I say stay patient, guys. There's a lot. It's not, look, people
They'll start speeding up, but the fact that every 4 minutes once it's going out, that's great.
You know, Crypto Edit, another thing too, which me and Frosty were discussing in chat, and I don't know if maybe one day when I have the chance to speak to certain people that we can have an argument or a conversation or debate about it. I would like to know if it actually makes a difference to edit or play with your RBCs, because if anyone realizes, and I'd suggest not to do it if you have no clue what you're doing, there's the RPC settings on the bridge where you can maybe try to get a better route, right? So it's kind of like Google Maps, in my opinion. But yeah, that's for those who understand. I can't go into more details, but there must be a way. I would suggest that if you're on the normal RPC of MetaMask, probably look into a better MetaMask that suits your needs. RPC, sorry, not a different MetaMask, a different RPC. I personally use Alchemy, and I know there's other better ones. I didn't have no problems. I'm still having no problems to connect. I just use Proton VPN sometimes because I'm in Europe, and the Proton VPN for free allows you 3 different connections in the world. So US, Netherlands, and Japan. That's an option too in case you're in Europe. And Europe, I know it was going down. So if you ever see it go slow, you could switch and go to the US, and it'll help. What else, man? There's so much shit to talk about, RG. On the website, I made it so like that for those who are mobile, or if you're on your desktop, there's the tab called All dApps, and we put all the dApps there. So we have all the dApps, and I also offered you guys the opportunity in ETH PLS links to easily buy wrapped PLS through the ethhex.com, and you're able to interact with the PLS X dApp on one page. So you don't have to have things open. You could just stay organized. You have all the links. You have hexfire.io, Hex Search. You have HSI Watch. You have Fatty Wallet. You have Fiat. Well, they're not really moving right now, Fiat, but the Fatty Wallet's booming, so you could use that. I'm going to integrate whatever. I'm always coming up with stuff, but I'm going to integrate. The more I try to do things and the more I'm helping people and realizing what's the need, well, the more I'm putting it out. So we were always telling people to go on PLS Burn. So I was like, okay, just go on xdirect.com. It's on the fucking front page now. So it's there. And yeah, you guys could use it. It's free. If anyone needs Pulse, you guys can go in the chat, DMF or myself. If we're there, we would be glad to give you 5,000 Pulse. There's people in the community, unfortunately, that insisting on donating for you guys. So if you guys are stuck, right, If you're randoms, unfortunately, I'm not really going to help you. But if you're people part of the community, want to come up, do proof of human, and you don't want to interact and say, hey, man, I need to do one transaction. I want to give back after. I'm really stuck. No problem, man. We got you. If it's 5 or 10 or 15, whatever it is, we'll give it back as long as you give it back from there, PulseChain or Hexkin in need. And yeah, that the shouts out to at Hex Toys for starting that, because I saw him giving out. And I was like, you know what? Let me use my 5 accounts for a good purpose, and I was going to collect all of them and do like the thing in the chat. Because right now there's no way to clean money, so I suggest people not to be not to be heroes and with capes. If you don't know what you're doing with your security, myself, I'm taking it the secure way. So I'm just trying to get clean pulse to give it away. And shouts out to Hex Toys for offering that opportunity to get clean pulse. So I took advantage, and now help people are unblocking their transactions. Some people couldn't even claim. Anyways, it's funny. People couldn't swap. So yeah, we're trying to help as much people as possible. So we're trying. And if you're just someone random and I don't see any, I'm not giving it to just anyone, guys. But if you're a regular, and we know who's regulars, we're here to help.
Yeah, we get it.
100%.
So I have a question for you guys, because you guys took 2 drastically different strategies pre-bridge. Captain, you want to touch on what you did pre-bridge versus post-bridge, and then Phamous, you can touch on that?
Well, pre-bridge, all I did was play in the PulseX Pulse pool. That's all I did in the farm, getting ink token. That's all I did, just to see what it was, how it was working. That's all I did. I've done nothing. I've left everything alone, divided all my stuff up between my wallets, got my security set, and just put everything away and waited for the shit show of what was happening here. Now, there's been a lot of opportunities out there for people, that's for sure. A lot of opportunities over on the ETH side too. So people are arbitraging some pretty big numbers. I've heard of a lot of people actually getting all of their hex back that they sacrificed, and just basically their house money and everything now. So good on them. Good. Some good people made some good moves. But hindsight's 2020. We didn't see all that stuff coming until, it launched. So again, there really wasn't a whole bunch of preparation you could do for that. It's just being vigilant now, doing your due diligence now, and watching what's going on now to catch the deals, because there's deals out there. But you got to be careful, because there's still, wonky numbers happening out there still. So you can get hurt still. So be careful. But that was my pre-bridge strategy. I didn't do anything. And then that post-bridge, like I said, I just added to the PulseX pool. So and we're doing pretty good with the incentive token, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's doing some nice numbers. I would love for there to be some incentivized pools with the harvest button. I think the harvest button is the most important thing, and I've been talking about it. Now, my strategy, I actually got bent over a bit because all the HSIs got stolen. Shouts out to that person that stole it. It's crypto. Enjoy. Man, this the way it works, man. Shouts out to them. That's the way it works. That was my pre-bridge strategy. Long story short, obviously I've been discussing different strategies with people because personally myself, obviously I understand that not many people have the opportunity to come in crypto and do things certain ways. So, those people in my position, or what I could advise in my way of doing things, are kind of good. So you don't really need advice. If you're in that position, you should be able to hold your own self. But for the newer people, I had suggested, that the goal was to take advantage of the momentum, take advantage of the fact that no matter what happens, if you're first, this is what everyone wants. You hear it, it's the talk of the town. So I was going more with logic and understanding the movement of the market. So obviously, the fork, I called it. What was valuable after the fork, I called it. What happened with the bridge, I called it. What happened with the value and how many gains you could have gotten from being first on with nothing, right? So if you were first, you did you do have the opportunity right now to create an NFT with your transaction where you actually did spend 3 zeros and a 4 pulse on a transaction. I did that, so I'm probably gonna make a funny ass fucking NFT and post it, because man, that's we're paying 6,000 right now. So I paid 1,000,000 times cheaper than what we're paying now. That's pretty fucking cool. And that was literally $4 of ETH or something like that. Like, so that just was gonna I have still in my wallet. So people who did the option, which I said, no, you're gonna get ETH. I said, don't think there's gonna be faucets. I was right. So I don't really want to boast about it, because what's done is done. I take the advantage on the spaces to boast, but right now I think what's more important is to understand that we're at this point. Consequences have happened, right? The actions have occurred, and we're approaching the first week, and there are consequences from our actions, and there are factors coming in that still haven't affected certain actions, or there are certain actions that have finished because now we're entering a new type of market. So I think right now people need to step back and understand how the market's going to shift. The fact that people are going to be able to utilize their funds. If you go on Pulse, excuse me, guys, I partied too hard on Saturday. If anyone's on Spaces, I came in drunk as shit.
Hey, Sunday, you were unrecognizable on the phone.
Oh my God, it was my voice is still it's still finished. But yeah, I think right now there's an opportunity to take advantage of the low liquidity pools, and especially that the routing business. For those who understand, the incentive tokens that are going to be valuable due to how, when the dust that settles, it's good to set in a piece of the pie and get that incentive token, and then utilize that incentive token in the routing process, and then utilize how people buy and sell it and ratios, blah 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 blah. But I think we're moving into that.
Let's talk a little bit about the routing, so that people understand that and what that means as far as you participating in the pools.
Well, routing is basically like, long story short, it's like it gets you the best deal, right? So if it gets you the best deal on V1 on the,
let's back up a little bit so people can understand where it comes from. So when you go to PulseX and you go to make a trade, it's going to look for the best route, meaning where that liquidity is being provided, the best route to get to those two tokens equaling your trade. So it routes through these pools. And as it does that, if you're a liquidity provider, are getting incentivized for being part of that route. And that's why you need to look at these things, look at the percentages and whatnot, to tell you where the best pools to be involved in are at.
100%.
Was that right? Okay. So that's the reasoning for understanding routing.
And it's also, it basically gets you the best deal. So when one coin's changing because of price impact, it will go to another pool that ends up eventually gets you. Like, you'll see it when you click that little plus button and it tells you how much gas you have. Some people, don't understand it that well, but if you're monitoring stuff, it would be cool to look at how it moves. So you just put in the trade and you look at how the routing will change here and there when the prices adjust, and you could always refresh the page, adjust your prices, it'll show you routing. And then when you have these low liquidity pools, you're able to get more of it and then thus get the fees or be part of something that could eventually grow. And right now we see the 5 new pairs, which I think, there's not that much being used, because obviously if you go look at, what is it, like 40% of the 10% or 20% that's been unblocked from the pools have been, not the pools, the bridge. So I think right now it's a very good time for people to buy the token, use their incentive token they've received, take some of it, buy those tokens, get in those pools, because you could get a piece basically of all the trades, all the routing, and that's what you want to do at the beginning. And then you could just harvest and then utilize the harvest position to compound. And now the compounding, well, that's basically what flips your boat. What floats, I don't want to say the word, but yeah, basically what floats your boat, because there's multiple ways of utilizing it, but you just have to understand that harvest button is very unique. Since Uniswap, you have to get out and get back in. So just remember that. We might get it. There is the availability to use your pools on E3, but yeah, I would suggest people stay very vigilant because this is a big boys game. So don't go in with a lot of your bag. A lot of new people are doing the biggest mistake of their life by taking a lot of their bag and going in liquidity providing. And permanent loss is a very, very important thing to understand that you can't get around it. You're really lucky if you don't. But when you go up and when you go down, you lose always in impermanent loss. So people need to understand that. I know people are talking about the t-shirt prices.
You understand kind of how it works too. So impermanent loss is, when you're providing liquidity for both of those, for that pair, when you're providing liquidity, what happens is one half of your bag gets sold and the other bag gets filled. Now, if the one that's being sold is the one that's going up in price, you're losing that price action. Especially, and it's heightened and compounded when the one that's going up, when your bag is filling with, is going down in price. So you're losing the valuable token as you're gaining the less valuable token, meaning you're being washed out price-wise, value-wise in that bag. So impermanent loss is a very real thing. So people need to be careful about providing liquidity and understanding when those two numbers start to move away from each other, you can suffer what's called impermanent loss. And now, if you sit in that pool and just keep sitting there, then you may end up coming back and going. A lot of people who just leave their liquidity and for a long time, they see it ebb and flow. It'll ebb and flow. But if you're in and you're needing to get your stuff out soon, then you could end up having to take it out when you've suffered a real impermanent loss. So just understand that.
Yeah, and you could also get impermanent loss by the changing of thickness. You get in when it's really thick, and then someone takes it out, you get nothing left because of your percentage of what your PLP actually brings of what's left. So there's a lot of ways to get impermanent loss. A lot of people think it's just by the fact that people buy in on one side and comes out the other. It's actually also on the thickness and thinness of the pool. But yeah.
There's a lot of factors involved in it. And I mean, I just gave you the simple basic explanation of how that moves.
100%.
And some of these tokens do move together, like Almighty Hexagon was talking about. But they can separate at times is what we're saying. So anyway,
yeah, it is get ready to it is complicated liquidity providing. A lot of people and a lot of new people, you're going to look at it when you end up not harvesting it, sorry, because we're so used to uni, but when you go ahead and remove your position, you're going to look at it and you're probably for the first time going to be like, what the hell? Like, what do you mean? Maybe you're going to look at it and say, holy shit. But most probably you're going to be like, okay. And if you didn't properly harvest and take advantage of certain ratios because of the way that the incentive token is moving and how the pool, you'll have to, this is why I say it's an expertise, because you're basically monitoring. You have to monitor and then you need to calculate if it is worth it, because it's very predictable how these types of things are going to end up playing out. In the long term is very hard. In the short term is very easy. Not very easy. It's easier than the long term. Therefore, you have a better chance of understanding the short term more than the long term, right? The incentive play it's a very confusing long-term play, right? But the short-term play, it's very easy. You get it. A lot of people, whoever have a percentage, get so much of it, it comes out that much. And then as much as it gets dispersed, then people can get more of it. If it's incentivized, then it gets incentivized for those certain pools. So right now, I think that the liquidity providing is going to be huge, man. But be careful, because get ready to, like I said, pull out your first LP and be like, what the fuck did I just do? So that's why I suggest people not to use most of their bag. I suggest, if the first time they take 10 to 15% of your bag. Oh, but it's nothing. Well, you didn't have what you were going to have anyways if you kept it. So just need to practice. Of course, people didn't practice on testnet because it's too hard to practice what they're doing right now. So
yeah, and market conditions have a lot to do with all of this, and that's the unknown. That's the variable, is that when market conditions flow like this very violently. So we have radical movements right now, a lot of wishy-washy, wonky shit, and
that's on the shitty
people
coins.
who know what they're doing, waiting to prey on people that make mistakes. And
but I'll be honest with you. If anyone looks at what the ratios, it's fucking testnet twice. Yeah. So it's literally a reflection of what we knew. It's I don't know how many people there are that realize this, but it didn't. The only difference was at the beginning at a certain level of, oh my God, you're getting a crazier deal. I feel like it was a crazier deal because they did it differently. They did on the pairing at the beginning, they did the opposite. They did the smaller first and the bigger last. As to on the first thing, they did the bigger first and then did the smaller after. So I don't want to get into that mathematical detail because that's really like LP like bullshit. But mathematical LP bullshit. But I really was impressed because they did the opposite. So they kind of told us what they were doing, but they did the opposite. And that still caused the same ratio. So whoever's holding that basically gave us a fucking like first try, second try, third try, cry wolf. Like there was no other way of looking at it. In my opinion, it was beautiful. I appreciate my logic a lot, and I'm glad that people didn't get wrecked by my advice. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's the biggest thing for me is not giving advice that's going to get people wrecked. 100%. I'll go and do and try my own things and screw up and fuck things up, but I'm not going to give anybody else that advice.
No, of course. I took a big risk. I took a big risk by explaining my experience and giving my opinion, but I think it was well calculated. I think I had the experience to go ahead and provide that information compared to other people in the community that unfortunately I don't really want to put on the spot because it's nor here nor there, but people know. They know. Yeah, I told you so. But it's not even about I told you so. It's more about like we told you so, the community. We've had so many good discussions in the last year and a half that whoever took the time, and obviously those who had work and had to do things, that I understand you have a life to live. Not everyone could always be on spaces, but you had a space whenever you did have time. You always took a shit and had 15 minutes on the ball. Instead of looking at, Instagram, you could have came on and asked a question that's been boggling your head all day at work. And that was available. And whoever came in and take advantage of that, I think really profited from the opportunity to go and make mistakes. And from the mistakes, learn from them. And, ETHW really helped people because it was money. And like, if you made mistakes, you learned from them. The 2 test nets were wonderful because they offered different types of testing, different types of strategies, different types of times in the market where it's, oh, look at this will make you more bullish, but also make you more informed, make you more creative in your strategies. So yeah, I think we got as Hexicans and as a community that got pre-involved, some people just like had to go on testnet and just click one button and they're like, oh yeah, cool, I prepared for mainnet. No, we literally grew the fucking mainnet, and then the mainnet came out and broke itself because it's so fucking powerful. We like at some point it's like even the strongest guy can't lift everything. You know what I mean? Like it's like at some point, imagine you overpower it to a point where you never thought that could happen. And I think that's where we're at, where it's like everyone just wants to get in because it's so fucking good. It's still working and it's broken. It's beautiful. And that's what people are really.
Speaking of everyone wanting to get in, I want to hear your thoughts on this tweet here.
Let's see. Trust swap. Adding liquidity to PulseChain in the next 24 hours. 4.7 million users on the crypto app. 300 million USD secured on Team Finance. 50 million raised through Trust Swap launchpads. We are porting all that power over to Pulse. See you there. Wow. 300. All right. Bring it. What's that a picture of right there?
I think it's the
These are their launch pads.
All-time highs, returns.
Since 2020. If no, I'm sorry. This is just for the past year. For the past year.
The IDOs.
And what does it show there though? I can't freaking see that shit. Hold on. Original swap utility across ETH, Poly, BSC, AVAX. Still exact same benefits, reward, and total supply. P-swap will be an ecosystem of its own. The current community added pool on PulseChain is at 10x discount to S-swap price. Oh. So you've got a 10x arbitrage, which there have been a lot of those. Not sure that will last long at all. Of course. And that's where everybody's making all their gains right now, is getting these multipliers on these 10x's. I think the Hex, somebody got real good deals on the Hex too, on eHex earlier, but I think that might be over with too, right?
You have to stay vigilant, because at one point it was like you got 3 times more Pulse on Ethereum than you did on PulseChain, and you could have done bought $500, $1,000. You could just DCA. It's just beautiful to know that you could do it. It just I don't know. I just feel like sometimes people just need to sit back, relax, and analyze and DYOR more. So, by the way, I hate fucking chilling, but hexdirect.com, you want to DYOR, you could DYOR into anything you want on that website. Just get lost in the website.
No, you're not chilling. I mean, you built something good, man. Your website has a one-stop shop for everything that is PulseX. Guys, check it out. Go to Hex Direct, right? Hex Direct?
.com,
yeah, Hex Direct. Hexdirect.com.
Wow.
And everything's there. Everything's there.
Since we're shilling URLs, let me take this opportunity to shill this. And
hexproperty.com.
Well, not that too. Show that. I meant to show something else, but show that real quick, because I think that's worth people knowing about real quick.
Yeah, 100%. If anyone has any questions, if you're willing to visit Portugal or check out how to, because there is a massive demand, and it's a wonderful place in order to invest in foreign property. Currently in IRL, we have our own property management firm. We have our own real estate agency. We work we work with one of the biggest real estate brokers in Portugal. We offer remote work, and we also offer the opportunity to purchase your home, whichever home you would like. Obviously apartment or any type of investment income rentals that we provide, because they're short-term, long-term rentals, and we offer a turnkey service. So yeah.
And I will be traveling out there to see if there's opportunity for the old pirate.
Mm-hmm. There's so much. And we are also currently tapping in. I think next week I was supposed to leave the day of the launch, and I was going to be in Spain to sign, and they canceled. It was like, I looked at it like I was pissed on Friday, and I was like, on the afternoon, I was like, fucking guys, cancel. Like, I can't believe we can't go sign. No, on Thursday. Sorry, it was on Thursday. Thursday, they called us like, yeah, we can't do it. We're going to have to reschedule for maybe next Friday or next Monday. And we're like, oh my God, whatever. And then at night at launch, I was like, yo, thank the fuck God. Because I would have been probably in Spain somewhere at some restaurant or some bar. And I'd be like, what the fuck?
I know. I don't want to.
Second fork in Spain, because I was in Spain the last fork with ETH. So I'm like, oh shit, this would have been the second fork. That was funny.
I don't even want to go to the Bitcoin convention this weekend, because I want to stay home and play with this now. Oh, here's a question.
You should definitely go, man. What do you mean, fucking go ahead?
No, I know. I'm going to be there, but man, I wanted to be degen trading this weekend. I was ready for some degen trading. I really have my little bags all separated. I'm like, okay, this is my degen bag right here. This is where I get to go screw around.
Oh man, I think
so. I'm gonna have to do it when I get back, but I know that there's better opportunity this week and this weekend.
Well, speaking of traveling, let's take a little 1 minute intermission and talk about this little thing right here.
Brooklyn, Seattle, Denver, Chi-Town, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Atlanta, Miami, part of town, baby. And Arizona. Get the cruise, baby. December. Birthday. Oh, yeah. That's the Captain.
Visit PulseChainTour.com. Get all the information. Chance to connect with fellow Hexicans, Pulsicans, and Pulse Exicans, and also an opportunity to have dinner with the captain. So check out PulseChainTour.com.
That's always a good time. It's always a good time, especially. Yeah.
Damn.
Let's
Where are you going to be doing the dinner?
At the hotel that we're. Well, no, and I can't say that. It's going to be either at a restaurant.
I try. Just have a good interview. Have a good interview. I try almost get things out.
Or the restaurant at the hotel that we'll be at. But yeah, and then we'll be talking strategies, and we can get like face to face. I don't mind talking to people about their bags and whatnot. I don't like doing it online or whatever,
of course,
on stream. But in person, you get to know the person a little better and talk to them about what they're doing, what their strategies are, staking strategies and stuff. But here's a question that we need to talk about, because I did the same thing today. I created a PLP token that isn't in existence yet. And so did this person. I have that LP token, but scared as fuck. No, don't worry about it. You've created it. It's there. There will be a pool eventually, or for you to get it involved in. But now you've got that sitting there not doing anything.
I think you still get the same benefits.
That's what Phamous is saying, that
I was thinking
probably still.
That's what happens. You still get the same
benefits.
You
created it.
You don't have to harvest, but I think you could even harvest it if it's available.
You'd have
on
to
the
go
contract.
through the contract somewhere, right?
I think if from the contract's available. So right now the fucking pulse scan, whatever, man.
Yeah, you'd have to figure it out.
See that to me, if I had to say, you know what, instead of being a kumbaya guy, what's the only thing? I would say Richard, man. And I'm probably gonna get the block button for this. What the fuck, man? What's happening with the block explorer? Is it that really that hard? Like, I'm not saying it bad. I'm like really intrigued, because this is a really important piece of the way I do crypto, right? Like the etherscan.io is, bscscan.io, the phantom scan, all the scans, the block explorers for me, the Bitcoin block explorer, like everything is like the way I know how to DYOR in crypto. It's like that's the Bible for me. It's like you go there to know what's real and what's not. So, and if I don't have vision, it'd feel like I'm in the water with no goggles. You know what I mean? I can still see where I'm going, but that dolphin looks like a shark to me right now. You know what I mean? So like if I had the goggles, I would know. It's just I need a bit more visibility for my liking, but who the fuck am I, right? Like obviously, I'm not someone who builds a blockchain and understands how hard it is, or how important it is to make everything fluid, like the way Etherscan. Etherscan has been how many years it's been up, and I know I build websites, and I'm not really the dev, and the creativity of a website comes with playing with it. So it's not one time. Your first project is never it's going to be there for 20 years type of website. So, it's okay, but I'm just saying, what the fuck, man? The block explorer, man, I need it, please. I need a better one. I know Otter is fast and people are saying it's good. You have the transactions, but no, man, I need my like the way I do it. I just need a bit more DYOR for me. I like spying on people.
Bandana token. I got it. I dig it.
Someone say, I'm not even reading the chat. Someone say you have to get a bandana token.
Yeah.
No, man, I'd get the treasure. Well, you definitely would have to go do pirate, like a coin, a treasure chest, or something. Like, come on, bro. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I made a doubloon, a DS doubloon on a Spire. My buddy, he created a token called Aspire where you can, it's basically on the Bitcoin blockchain. You can, I think it was the first, smart contract. Well, no, it's not a smart contract. I'm sorry. You can make tokens on it. And that's all it is. Over there on the Bitcoin network.
You know what I would do if I was you for the bandana?
What's
I would
that?
actually have a bandana for every stream or like every like big
I do.
event.
That's all. That's what the stack of them over there.
And I would like sign it and write on it and then attach an NFT and send it to the person and be like, wow, it's a collector's item, man. That's how you create. That's how you create, the Michael Jordan shoes.
My bandanas are
I'm gonna probably do my glasses, man. I'll probably keep these bad boys and when we get them. Like these are my like these. I honestly shouts out to Vintage Frames. I don't know if you could see them properly, but they're the Hex.
Yeah, the Hex colors.
They're custom lenses, and it has the Pulse X and like it's blue here and green, but then you have the Hex red and yellow. I asked them to do the double flare, so I have Pulse X. Like on one end, I see the purple type of flare from the logo, like the PulseChain and Pulse X. Like you mix the blue with the green and the red, so it's like. Yeah, because of and it's double flare, and I was supposed to get another pair. It was supposed to be these ones, but they're not nice. I don't think you see them, but yeah, again, Hex color type gradient, but it wasn't that. It's too gold. I like the gold because this is more like the Robert De Niro. And like I love the glasses. I'm a big fan of one of my boys in Canada, Vintage Frames.
I have a bridge update.
I got these.
I have a bridge update.
Ooh,
nice.
Your own glasses. Ooh,
yeah.
I need to get me some famous. I need to get me some merch only from Suzanne. That's
RG3, and then
I need to get only from Suzanne.
The Captain. These are lokes, baby. These are lokes.
Yeah, you should pop those. What the fuck? Those are Cali, baby. Yo, yeah. Now you look like where's the Harley like this? You should be like.
These are my.
So guys, I've been tracking the claims coming in on the PulseChain side. So right now it seems average every 16 seconds. So seems like things are running smoothly now. Things are running smoothly now.
So no more 4 minutes. Now we're at 16 seconds.
Speeding up, yeah. So
these ones are cool right here. Can you see that one? Let's see. These ones say so they'll say Captain RG3, and these ones got these ones are so freaking badass. Executing on both sides.
Oh yeah, those are nice with the pattern.
Yeah. I'm all shaking. I shake all the time.
Yeah, I get that.
Only problem is I don't have my lenses in them yet. I got to get the lenses redone. But these are.
No, those are dope, man. But yeah, that bandana stuff. I love Captain Phamous. Captain straight great too. Thanks, D'Artagnan. Appreciate it. Bandana token. Stake it and get booty yield. Oh. You get the brandy yield. You get a viral rum.
Well, that's sweet. The bridge is flowing now. Ooh, that means that things are going to freaking start picking up this weekend. Man, it's just making me more and more pissed off. More and more pissed off.
How come?
Because I'm going to be gone, man. I'm not going to be trading until like next week.
So just prepare yourself for a week.
Oh, you mean just set everything up?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, it's like there's always something you could have done better. And every move you know what I mean? So like I say it like this, and I know you know, and I know, and we know. And everyone, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it's for someone who might not know. You know, at the end of the day, it's important to set yourself a goal. And I know you know this, RJ, don't worry about it. I'm just saying it to be productive. But you set yourself a goal and execute it. So like you say, if you're going on vacation, if you have to take a weekend off, prepare yourself for that off. Don't bring your ledger with you on the boat.
Yeah, definitely
because
don't
you're
do that.
scared. No, I'm being serious. Because it just so happens, if you have my luck, you so happens to be a fucking dolphin's gonna jump up and you're gonna be somehow like this with it and be like, wow, maybe he can get it like this, and then he's gonna somehow get it. So
the last time I traveled, I was so worried about PulseChain coming out that I literally took my computer and my treasure with me.
That was me just now too. That was me just now. I was away when it launched, and I was like contemplating bringing it with me. So I was like,
everyone does.
I don't know. Yeah,
everyone does.
I did set myself up to do some stuff on the ETH side. So I made sure like I had like a hot wallet like loaded up with some stables and Kraken ready if I had to send anything. But that was more like on the ETH side in case like anything happened. But yeah, all like my PulseChain stuff that I prepped for, it was like, it was locked away. But I was very close to bringing it with me.
Yep. I did. I took mine. I did.
There's something.
No. I locked it up in the safe, but in the hotel room. But
there's something a lot of people haven't been talking about is the fact that PLSX is probably going to be used in a large amount right now to stabilize the stablecoin, and we could be seeing some ratios differential.
We should be seeing a lot of activity because now that
it's 3.51 right now. It's 3.51 right now.
Now that the bridge is flowing, we're going to start seeing a lot of activity.
It's one pulse gives you 3.51 PLSX. So that's a sweet deal. Man, I love what I just did, bro. Everything's fucking right here, man. Holy shit. I can just do anything I want right now. How much is... Check out Rat Pulse. 1,000 hex on ETH will give you 120,000 pulse. And how much would it give you here? Hex on Ethereum, 1,000 of it. It give you 656,000. Wow. Oh, no, that's Pulse X. Never mind. Pulse 185. So 180.
There's a lot of ETH coming through. There's a lot of ETH coming through right now.
Oh yeah, baby. Bring it. Bring it.
I'm just hitting refresh right now because since it's flowing now, so I'm just hitting refresh on the page and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of ETH coming through.
Yeah, 1.5. 1.5 is just I think we're coming, man. There's a lot of DAI that needs to be paired too, because a lot of it's not there. You have to look at that pulse bridge and see how much is not in it, right? And Hex 2 is not really being. Anyways, incentive token, guys.
You know what sucks about some of the transactions I'm seeing? You can tell that a lot of people were doing test transactions. So they were only sending a small amount. So like they had to wait this whole time just to receive a small amount.
Those are probably the guys that won.
No, but you can tell like a lot of like you can tell like I probably would have done the same thing. Like people probably weren't expecting it to take that long.
Yeah,
and that's why people are buzzing because they did the test transaction, but in their head they're like, "Yo, I did the transaction, man. Like, why isn't it working?"
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of them are test. Yeah, a lot of them you can tell they're test transactions. It's just like, let me just send a little bit, make sure it goes through the other side. But it's like if you waited this long, you should have might as well sent like
you're stuck. Yeah, your transactions are stuck at that point.
The good thing is it's flowing. It's like flowing really good. Now it's up to every 4 seconds, more or less.
Wow. Okay, so the dam is broken. It is broken.
It fluctuates, up and down, but yeah, we're definitely sub 10 seconds right now.
Nice. Very nice. Very, very nice.
So we're above SAC price on ETH.
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, that took a little while.
That's 2.2. Right, it was 3 or 4 zeros.
4. No, 3.
Yeah, 4 with the comma.
4.
Yeah, 3. Whoa, wait. Fucking screens, man. 3 zeros, a 2, 2, and 4. Yeah.
3 zeros.
Yeah, so it's a 2.2. How much is it on PulseX? Blah, blah, blah. USDC. Yeah, that's a big difference. It's 4 zeros in an 8.
4 zeros
in an 8. The Deals, baby. The deals right now. You know what? How
you.
perfect was that? Everybody's getting a deal.
Question for you, because I'm sure someone else has. I think I know the answer, but I just want to confirm it. So all these bridging assets right now there's gonna be a burn as well associated with it, right? Because it has to go through transactions. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Well, yeah, the burn. I mean, where's the burn at right now?
All these assets coming in right now, all these bridging assets, since they have to go through PulseX, that means we're gonna have a burn associated with it. Not the assets that people are bridging in. I'm talking about
the claim, like the claim is a any transaction.
Well, the transaction fee. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Anything.
Move it. Go.
That's why people say like, oh, PulseX is burning a lot. It won't if it becomes valuable. And you think like every transaction is burning Pulse.
Yep. Yep. We just crossed the 14 billion threshold.
It's gonna stop at one point.
Buy and burn. Yes, sir.
Once people understand the normal, like right now, I think it's normal. Like what, 1,000, 5,000. If it's 2x the sack price, it's like, okay, calm down. It's $1 to transact. It's not that bad. Calm down. You know what I mean? It's not that bad. Like it's gonna calm down. It has to. If it doesn't, fork the bitch.
Huh.
Rediluted, man.
So, real quick, one thing I wanted to change the subject and talk about because it affected me last night. So we had a little spat on the morning show here on DS a couple days ago, on the morning show, and it was two of our OG Hexicans talking security. And I mean, the way they were talking to each other was a shit show. But what I want to talk about is the actual subject itself about security. First of all, I'm not down with everybody. That's my cousin right now. Hey, hold on. I'm talking about your incident right now, so I'll catch up with you in a minute. I'm on stream.
I have a clip.
Okay, I gotta go. That's my cousin. So my cousin, she gets into Hex. She stakes her Hex. She's watched the show. She in the community. She's watching things going on. She's learning. She knows how to take care of her wallet. She knows what she's supposed to be doing. Now she's held off on getting herself a Trezor, procrastination, whatever you want to call it. But this subject that came up on the morning show was about Papa Boner's very zealous security protocol that scares the fuck out of everybody, which I think that having your bags as secure as possible is the best way to go. Period. End of story. If you know how to operate the hidden wallets and the extra passphrase, the 25th seed word, and understanding all of those things and how to utilize them, so you don't screw yourself. Because the more things you add to it's like throwing a wrench in the gears. The more things you add, the more problems you can make. The more security you have, the more chances for fucking it up based on your own error there is. So I don't like to scare people with that and say that that's the protocol you have to take, because there's plenty of people out there that have survived in crypto with just using MetaMask. Guys, MetaMasks don't get hacked. They don't. Now, high value individuals and target people, influencers, people with big bags, they may get targeted. Probably easier to wrench attack somebody like that versus try and hack into their MetaMask. Now, the biggest problem is not having the overzealous security measures in place. The biggest problem is the phishing attacks. and we are support from MetaMask, and we're here to help you, especially when people are having problems right now, like with the front end being down on the staker, the stake function on hex.com/stake. So people were reloading their MetaMask and having problems. And that's where somebody can slip in and throw you a, hey, we're with support and we're here to help you. Here's what you do. And of course, my cousin put her seed words where they weren't supposed to go. Never stick your seed words in something that you don't know what's in there. In fact, never stick your seed words in anything unless you are doing a recovery yourself and you are the one who pushed the button and nobody had asked you to do so or told you to do so or gave you instructions to do so. If you get instructions to put your seed words anywhere, somebody is hacking you. Somebody's hacking you. Do not do it. Never, ever, 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 ever do it. You operate the recovery function yourself. You operate the recovery function on your hard wallet yourself, and you enter your seed phrase then and then only. Never with some support. There is no MetaMask support. Forget about it. Never use that. Secure yourself. Most people lose their keys or give them away. That's how crypto gets stolen. Not through fucking having to have 400 different security measures. Now, putting your seed words on some steel plates, locking them up, splitting them up, whatever, making sure you do have a hardware wallet connected to it. All good stuff. All great stuff. And having the best of the best, if you can function with it, great. But most people lose their seed words or give them away in a phishing attack. So don't do that. Don't do that. Luckily, she called me right when it happened, and we were able to get her Pulse and her Pulse X off of there, her sacrifices. They cleaned her Ethereum side stakes and her Hex and her P Hex. But after that, they couldn't get anything else. And we emptied the whole thing so that they couldn't do anything. So, yeah, I don't really want to even replay that, to be honest.
It was hilarious. Like, I get it. It was like a serious topic, but it was, in hindsight, it's kind of funny now.
It was a shit show. And, you know, and I like all those guys. And I don't think they should be. I don't think they should be fighting with each other.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
I just think this is my take on it. I really respect Papa Boner and what he does and the way his stance is, because he's a real one. He's a real one, right? Regardless of what people's opinions are, right? I'm gonna use me as an example. You don't ask me to dumb something down. I'm gonna laugh in your face and tell you to get the fuck out of here. I'm not here to answer you dumb down. I'm here to answer you as detailed as possible and make you go like. So if you want security help, and this is, I know Papa's gonna be like, no, of course I'm there to help anyone. But in my opinion, if you want help and you're asking Papa for help, you shut up and listen, and you take his advice. You could do it or not, but if you don't do it, then don't come back. Because I hear people, and I've heard him answer so many times, not even just Telegram, because Telegram usernames are different now on Twitter. But Twitter, there's people I'm been calling them out lately. I've been like, you still don't have a fucking MetaMask, still don't have a hardware. But I don't want to help you. Straight up on chat. And people are just like, whoa, what do you mean? I'm like, yo, why? Like, he made Papa waste his breath. And then this is why all I want to say is that don't ask Papa for the dumbed down version of security, because it's a waste of his time when he could be explaining someone better. So if Papa got mad, I don't know what happened.
It wasn't that wasn't the problem.
But that's my piece on it, because a lot of people have something to say on that.
His approach and the way he talks to people. That was the problem.
Oh yeah,
that has nothing to do with how much he's respected in this.
Oh, space. That's why I thought it was the subject.
His security subject. No.
Oh, I definitely want to watch this.
He's 100%.
Oh, I definitely want to watch this clip then.
All right, play the.
I know, but don't no, wait. If you don't want to do it on here,
no,
you don't have to
no,
do
play
it.
it. Play it. But I'm gonna say something.
Well, before I play it, I'll say this. I'll add this disclaimer. This is how we should not allow ourselves to get to, regardless of the topic. Especially when you're leading.
I'm fucking down.
No,
bro.
because I've had this, I'm famous. I've had this conversation with you. Sometimes, our emotions get in the way, and 100%. We need to check ourselves, right? So 100%. This is, even though we're gonna laugh about this, we should never let ourselves get to this point.
That's exactly like me on Sunday morning. 100%.
Pretty much.
But everyone's human, man.
Yeah, it's discourse.
Oh boy. Jerry, before you go on another 15-minute rant, I have a very important thing.
Would you like me to yell too to cause more drama?
Yes, very important thing.
Rude?
Very important. Okay, very important thing that you're missing.
You're rude all the time when you step on people when they're talking. You know the most annoying
Jerry,
thing.
you've muted me in your show, so why don't you shut the fuck up?
Yeah. I don't like that at all. Discourse is one thing. Fuck yous are another thing. And it started with his attitude. It's his attitude that's the problem. You don't talk down to people like that. You don't be condescending to people. No matter how important your fucking subject is, you don't do that to people. That shit gets you punched in the fucking face. That's the kind of stuff that you don't do. And I don't like it at all. I've never liked it. I don't like people that condescend to others just because they've got some kind of knowledge or think they've got that's bullshit, So that's why I get real hot under the collar when I see people acting like that. That's the one thing that's my pet peeve. Motherfuckers like that. Just, And I love Papa B. I do. But sometimes, and don't talk to me that way either. So yeah, that's just wrong. His subject is important and he is right. But he's not accurate. That's for sure. He's not accurate. He may be right, but he's not accurate because not everybody needs that kind of security protocol. And that security protocol can cause harm sometimes to people who don't know what they're doing, to people who are new to the space. You start throwing fucking, treasures and splitting up their seed words to, mom has this half and then they have this half and it's all got to be on titanium, not stainless steel, but titanium, because stainless steel can melt at 2000 degrees versus fucking 2800 degrees and all this other bullshit that they fucking put out there on the security protocol shit. It's just confusing for new people. I agree. Get them on as much security as possible, but the more wrenches you throw in the system, the more fucking things you add to the Rube Goldberg machine, you get yourself in trouble and people can get hurt that way too. So you're not accurate, Papa, and you're definitely not right with the way you're talking to people. And I'll have that conversation with him later, but that's where I sit on it. He is right. He is right. And his protocol is 100% as effective as you can get. However, that effectiveness could cause problems and could hurt new users, could be scary, could be confusing, and could turn people away. It is not 100% necessary. Yes, it is 100% the right way to do it, but it is not 100% necessary. And especially you don't talk to other Hexicans that are trying to help and doing good work in the community like that. That's, Johnny has been out there running the circuit, getting 500 views, 500 viewers logging into his streams every time he gets up there and says it, because he's spitting alpha right now. And everybody wants to hear it. And now our morning show that doesn't get a lot of views, probably because of some of the stuff and the attitudes that are on there, lost a golden opportunity and, pissed all over the guy that's getting all the views right now. So I'm a little perturbed by all that and how Johnny was treated. Because Johnny doesn't deserve that.
You mean Gary?
And Johnny didn't deserve what Papa handed to him, is my take on it. And the only thing that matters in this fucking channel is my take. So anyway.
Listen, I thought it was going to be longer. So
No, there's a lot more,
yeah,
bro.
there's
You can
more.
go in there and watch.
It's a lot more.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's a
Send me
whole
that
bunch
clip. I want to watch it.
I just
That
gave
was
the
just-
short,
positive-
the summary.
that was just
I
a hot
posted
moment.
The summary.
The
That was a
positive
summary.
thing, I don't think it's a positive, but what I'm going to take from that is that emotion I saw from Gary. That is fucking dope, man. I want to see him at a fucking conference, fucking
Yo, dude.
ripping some, bro. That was like, I'm like, yo, that's that. I'm like, that's a part. I'm more like, I like seeing like, you know, a bit more like honest, you know, and then like that's all. Like I know Gary does very, very, very professional, but that side of him, I just saw it with the whoa. I'm like, yo, that's dope. I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
I'm like, that's
It was
dope,
like the most
man.
honest Gary we've seen this whole time.
It's not honest. It's not honest. It's like I have two professional parents, you know, so I understand professionalism. And like if he's been in that area of professionalism and surrounded by professionalism, then you have to act a certain way to be part of that and to respect the what everyone has done to be part of that, being that professional or be around the professionalism. So or to be even adequate. So like that side, Gary, if you're listening, fuck, man, I want more of that, man.
Here's the thing.
Real
Here's
quick.
the thing.
Let me
Go ahead.
real quick, because I think those add perspective. When I came in a year ago, actually it was, you know, I have to give thanks to Papa Bona because I came in with my government name. He realized it was my government name. He said, "Get off of here immediately. Come with a new alias, and then I'll teach you everything you need to know." He took his time, answered all my questions, got my OPSECs on point. But also, I felt that his version of OPSEC was aggressive, but I can say that because I have a background in tech.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Phamous can attest to this. I wasn't gonna bash him. I was like, okay, let me find an easier way for people to handle OPSEC that doesn't require them to spend, you know, $1,000 and 20 hours to figure things out. I released my own video, how to do it for less than $200, put it out there in the community. And, you know, and that's the proper way of addressing things if you disagree with someone within the community, in my opinion. If you don't like what they have to say, just come up with your own opinion and put it out.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's entitled to their own. And everybody's trying to help.
I'm gonna tell someone exactly how I feel.
And Papa is doing that. He's been out there helping people out. Now,
Right. But how crazy would I look if I went against Papa and said I completely disagree with him? I would look crazy.
well, you don't have to completely disagree with him. You can disagree with him like
point,
I just did. He's fucking
you're
not
different.
accurate.
You're different. You have, you know, way more weight. You carry a lot more weight than
No, it's not about weight. It's about being human and looking at the situation and rationalizing it. Because his attitude was the problem. It wasn't his protocol. It was his attitude. He was stepping on those men's egos and flexing his own versus trying to talk about the subject at hand. And the subject at hand is he's way over here with security protocol, and then there's people way over here, and you don't have to necessarily be all the way over on one end or the other. He was trying to say, no, that's my way or the highway, and you're all fucking wrong, and you're all a bunch of fucking dumbasses. Shut the fuck up and listen to me. That's what he was saying. And that's not accurate at all. And that's not how you talk to people. Anybody can say that. Anybody can be part of that conversation. You don't have to have weight or fucking whatever. You just have to be a rational human being that knows how other human beings should be treated. Same thing with everybody that streams. All of these motherfuckers got something to say online when it's 2D or you're behind a fucking keyboard. Everyone. Meme the shit out of you. Insult the fuck out of you. Don't care. Talk about your mom, all this other shit, whatever. But when it comes to human interaction, when it comes to us sitting down face to face, nobody acts like that. Every single one of you that I've met are good fucking human beings. From Gary to Papa. Well, I haven't met Papa yet. Sorry. To all the people that I've met at the Vegas events. Everyone. Good people when I sit down and talk to them. They all have the same kind of values, blah, blah, blah. But somebody says a little something on their stream, lets their ego flow a little bit, and it turns into this big old shit show. And it's not necessary. It isn't necessary, because when it all comes out in the wash and you sit down in front of each other, nobody wants to get punched in the fucking face, and everybody's cordial with one another and sits down and listens to one another and lets everybody be right and wrong in their own ways. That's usually how a civil conversation and civil interactions go. Not so much in Twitter and online for some reason. So I hope we don't see any more of that in the community. Discourse Syndicate is just that. This is where we can talk about anything and all disagree with one another. And sometimes it gets heated, but we don't have to belittle people. We don't have to be condescending. That's the kind of stuff that's unnecessary.
Maybe we can hash it out on FN Hangout.
Oh, I'm gonna probably walk in on the morning show and hash it out.
Oh, tune in, people. Tune in. You heard it here first.
Versology says he is freaking pumped on all his bridge activity. Yeah, it's flowing, baby.
21.6. Wow, they like the new activity that they just did. Oh, they just added stuff. Go check it out on hexatic.com.
Those are some more farms in there?
Yeah.
Been
They just
refreshing.
edited their website. They edited their website.
Increasing nicely.
Wow, they did exactly what I was trying to calculate in my head. So there's $9.8 million already there. There's
where? Where did you say 9?
Okay, listen. Million? Remember when we were talking before in the green room? It was at 43 million. Now it's at 45, and it's still at 21.6%. So if you take the average of that, it's definitely going up, and the processing is definitely going up because the 20% of 43 would be missing. Another what? That's 2 mil, 20%. That would be like 40K, 60, 400K. No.
So, Briss, you bridged a few hours ago. Did it already go through? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that when you bridged, it went through?
No, there's 21% of it already. There's 9.8 million already through. Is Bullish talking? Bullish is muted.
No, I wasn't saying anything. I'm just bringing this up. See if Brazology's say he used it for the first time a few hours ago and he received it, or he just used it. Oh, no. He just used it for the first time. So he's expecting a wait.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but if you see the percentage, it was at 21.6. Now it's at 21.7. So on average, every 30 seconds, it's increasing. So that's good.
Good, man. It's coming.
Nice.
Yeah, by the time you guys, whoever's up now on the East Coast or West Coast, by the time you wake up, yeah, that percentage should hopefully double at this rate.
Yep. We're at 3.4, man. It's still going down, man. 3.4 PLSX for PLS.
Wow.
And the thing now too is hopefully, and before we get off, because I know we're over an hour already. This thing still needs to catch up. If people start clogging it, we're gonna run into the same issue. But Phamous, you said that you think Richard tweeted people not to use it for a reason, aside from the obvious. You did touch on that.
That was my thought. You
touched on that in the beginning. So break that down.
Bro, you think Richard really gives a shit if people do or do not do the bridge? Like, do you really think this man, after all these years of crypto, understands that you shouldn't do it? Do you think he really, really needed to ask for donations? I really do think that was the best reverse psychology I've ever saw in my life. Please stop bridging. It's kind of like how I'm doing it, where it's like it forces the people that want to do it and the people that deserve to do it the willpower to just do it themselves. So it's kind of like, remember, he always said, he's like, I'm going to build something that is technically like a scam, but it's not a scam. Therefore, you get scammed. You know what I mean? So he has that quality, and he's done that quality. He does marketing. So he has that quality in him, and he's always underplayed things. He's always given us less than what he actually does. So no, sorry. At the beginning, he makes it look like he's giving us something, but it's always less than what he actually ends up with. So for me, it means nothing what he's saying. It's crypto. As soon as he clicked it, he has to maintain it. People have duties to maintain it. I don't think he has, but certain people have duties to maintain it. And like Hex, man, it is what it is. And you guys, it is what it is, man. And whether we like it or not, there are players that want this to work. So it's going to work, guys. It's working in front of our face. You just haven't been through this shit.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people that didn't use testnet don't understand and see what's going on here. I mean, this is functioning just like testnet. It's.
I really don't want to rub it in, but some people have no fucking clue what they're telling you guys. Like, I'll be honest with you, they were never in the test nets. They were never in the existing forks in the last 3 years. They were never in the original forks that have happened on the Ethereum EVM. So like, I kind of don't want to go more into it, but stop listening to fucking idiots.
Yeah,
seriously, guys.
They were pretty much exposed.
Don't do nothing. Like I'm sorry, they tell you don't do nothing without the experience of being like, but they do everything. You know what I mean? Like you have to realize that most of them said, "Oh, look at Focus this, check out these coins. These are the plays." Oh no. But like, you know what? It's the plays if you really know what you're doing. But what was the easiest play? To do what Logic said to do. Get into this, do this. Do this because people are doing this. Oh, next thing you know, look at where we're at. The literally sometimes if you think about it, it was literally in front of our face the whole time. Literally, it was in front of our face the whole time. So anyone who's wrecked, I really don't feel bad for you, unless you got fucked, but. You should have prepared yourself. I really have no pity for people who didn't prepare themselves. And yeah, it's chill. Yeah. I'm like, call me the bad guy, man. Scarface. You need people like me, man.
You need people like me.
Everyone needs a heel.
Swear to God, bro. You know, hey, everyone, every story has a Hades in it. Every God story has a Hades in it. But I'm really happy where we're at. I think we're so used to just waiting that we just don't realize where we're at.
Well,
like you realize it's like we just turned 30 again. Like this is like people don't realize this fork. It's like, yo, guys, you have one of the best pickup lines in crypto. Yo, dude, did you have the ERC20s a week ago? Sorry, did you have ERC20s in April? Like, did you buy crypto and did you have ERC20s on your wallet in April? Yeah, for sure, bro. I've been doing this. Oh, well, you got copies. You need Pulse? I got you from Pulse. Go to some faucets. Go check out hexderic.com. Everything's there, man. You could swap, do the bridge, everything on one website. Everything's there. All the community tools, everything.
Yep. That's going to be my conversations all week at the Bitcoin convention. I'm going to be there talking to people about their extra tokens, because I know there's going to be shit coiners there.
but you could also tell them, did you check out this new L1?
Yeah,
it's going to come. And right now, we don't have the exchanges. We don't have the exchanges. We don't have we don't have the exchanges. We don't have actually multiple bridges, which are going to be created. Right? We still don't have a functioning rotating system. Right now, I feel like the system is just stopping itself from going from point A to point B and point B to point C, but it's not going from A to C.
It's the pump's not primed yet. It's trying to prime the pump right now.
I don't feel like it's circular yet. Once it gets circular, there's a lot of other things coming in. Wallets, not wallets, onboard, offboard, whatever you guys call them, on ramps and off ramps, and the exchanges are going to come in, and that should bring in a lot of volume, man. It should.
Yep.
Fake volume, but it's still demand, and it still allows people to do stuff, right? Because the beauty about PulseChain is not buying and holding; it's buying and doing stuff with it. Some people don't get.
And the doing stuff is PulseX is for. That's what the exchange is for going and doing this stuff. And if you wanted true DeFi, you got it. Now learn how to use it. And
I
now
remember telling people, man, it's
you don't get a chance to do it on a test net. Now you're doing it for real. So you've been warned. You've been warned.
You can still try it, bro. I can't wait for someone to connect DW to PulseChain. Then you'll definitely have a cheap ass test net. And you can have an even cheaper ass test net on Ether.
Guess what?
Or you could have a worthless test net.
Guess what? Portal X does it.
Portal X. And I cannot wait to talk to those guys about this, man. This is going to be cool. This is going.
We're definitely going to have Portal X integrated in Hexahex.com.
Portal X already supports. So Portal X already supports ETHW.
That's for sure. It doesn't have PulseChain.
Well, once PulseChain is added, which is being worked on right now. So once PulseChain is added, it's literally being worked on right now. I'm not gonna give a ETA because the bosses will get pissed. But yeah, once it's ready, yeah, you'll have at this point now, once PulseChain is added, 65 plus blockchains to do cross-chain swaps.
65.
Well, it's gonna be right under the PulseRAM bridge, so it'll be on hexdirect.com. Everything will be on hexdirect.com.
That is just freaking phenomenal, man. That is phenomenal.
Man,
imagine this is just ETH coming in right now. Imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Imagine all that.
This is going to get so good.
Yeah, once people can swap BNB or AVAX or whatever coin or blockchain they're on from any centralized exchange, they'll be able to bring it into Pulse.
Oh, man. Oh, yes, baby. Gonna be good. Gonna be good. Oh, look, for those of you, I mean, the play is to go and do stuff with our Pulse and our Pulse X. We have the tools, but just sitting there, if you've got a nice bag and you're just sitting there, you're gonna do so good.
Just clutch a position, guys. It's like the Watt says. You just get a little position. Go hold a little something, because that little something always turns into something else, and you never know. 1,000x a little position. It's a nice fucking Harley. It's a nice fucking boat. It's a nice tit. Why not? Why do you have to lose? If it goes up, you have to sit on your back. Sit on your back. But you could use that harvest button for your. And sorry to interrupt you, RG, because it's so important what we're saying. It's like, just get that position. Understand why we say position, that percentage of that position, or just lock in that little position if you don't feel comfortable doing a lot. But just do it, man. Right now it's the beginning. Look at ICOSA. Look at all these anything. Look at all the coins in the history. It's always at the beginning that stuff, it becomes profitable. It's always at the beginning. So just learn from the people's mistakes of others, guys.
Pulse. Somebody said Pulse X is pamping.
Yeah, it's pamping, man. We were just talking about that. How much is it at right now?
Let's see.
It's at 3.41, 100%, bro.
Yep. 3.41.
0.29 pulse per PLSX. Let's go, man.
No, it's one. Oh, yeah. Okay, for one. I got you. That's a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. Phamous. Thank you, bro. I'm gonna get my tickets. I'm gonna talk to your guy tomorrow. I'm coming to Portugal.
Let's go, man. We'll keep everyone posted.
We need to talk, Bullish. I got to talk to you about that.
Guys, if anyone has any questions, we're on Twitter. Just find for a Hex We'll catch you there. If anyone needs Pulse, come check us out. Don't DM me. Come in the proof of human. And if you're a regular, DM me. If you're a random, just go proof of human in the chat, and then we'll help you out, man. Thanks, guys.
Yep. See, and I'll be broadcasting from the Bitcoin convention. Who knows? Maybe there might even be a scrap in the lobby at a hotel or something. You know.
I'll go Wraith. Shouts out to you, man. We got an active Twitch user. Shouts out to you, man.
Oh yeah, look at that. We got one person on Twitch watching us. That's cool.
Let's go, man.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for coming. We'll see you on the FN Hangout on Friday.
Peace, guys.